Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back to show us some more plunder that I have acquired here recently. I've changed CDs in the background. Right now we're listening to Calm Hatchery, Sacrilege of Humanity. Really good death metal band. It's been a while since I've actually listened to this. I picked this up not long ago, and I'm listening to it for the first time in a long time. So yeah, picked up a lot of cool stuff here recently. Some eBay finds, used store finds, things like that. The first used one, as I've said in the previous videos, Kiss fanboy, I see an original press, I pretty much have to pick it up unless there's something wrong with it, you know, with the disc or whatever, then I won't. But yeah, picked up an original press of Lick It Up, classic album, their first post-makeup release, first time they've ever been seen without their makeup. I absolutely love this album. It's got some awesome songs on here. Of course, the title track, Young and Wasted, All Hell's Breaking Loose, a million to one is definitely one of my favorites of this. So if you're a Kiss fan and you don't own this, what's wrong with you? The next couple came off of eBay. Picked this up from one of my I guess you could say my favorite sellers. I use him quite often, and I hadn't ordered from him in a while, and finally picked up some stuff. I've actually got a couple things that I forgot downstairs, but I'm not going to be bothered to run down and get them. But this is Heaven Shall Burn with Death to Our Prayers. This is a band that I am just now finally starting to pick up a lot of their stuff. And yeah, I saw this in there for a really decent price, and it also came with a bonus DVD, so cannot wait to check that out. And I actually already owned this one, but it's a digipack, and everybody knows that I love jewel cases more than I do digipacks. So when I saw he had a jewel case version of this, I had to pick it up. Plus, it's just a really awesome album. This is Immolation with their latest one, Atonement. Absolutely love that cover. Really glad to see them return to having the original logo. So yeah, Immolation are amazing. It's the classic death metal band in my opinion. This one I found at FYE, and I was so happy to finally find this because I ordered this off of Amazon, and I did not realize until I got it that it was a burn-on-demand CDR. So in other words, a glorified CDR. And I finally found a proper edition of this. I'm talking about the debut solo release from Doyle, Abominator. Absolutely love this album. Honestly, he's only put out 2 albums so far, and both of them are amazing releases. I cannot wait for him to put out some new music. Also picked up the new Soil work, and I'm hopefully gonna not butcher this. Verkleiten. I've only gotten to listen to about half of this so far. Every time I started to listen to it, I kept getting interrupted, but sounds pretty good so far. Soilwork, one of those bands that I didn't listen to for the longest time, and then I finally started getting into more of their newer stuff. So next up, Texas in July, One Reality. This is another band that I knew of, especially from seeing this album cover online a lot, and never really listened to them, and I finally gave them a shot. Really enjoyed what I listened to off of this album, so I went ahead and picked it up. Next, another eBay find. This is the Convalescence with The Process. Convalescence are a really good kind of deathcore band from, I want to say Florida. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, they've only got 3 releases. Their first one is really hard to find. I even messaged their keyboard player, and she said that they were long out of print. So hopefully at some point that'll get a reissue. Picked up a new one from, or the new one I should say, from a pale horse named Death, When the World Becomes Undone. If you don't know this band, features members of Typo Negative, and yeah, really awesome stuff. I enjoyed their first 2 releases. Haven't gotten a chance to spin this one just yet, but definitely plan on it soon. Excuse me. Sorry about that, my dad was hollering at me. But yeah, picked up the new Born of Osiris, The Simulation. Really good album in my opinion. It's a short album for sure. I think it's only like maybe 25 minutes. And the reviews that I read, a lot of people weren't real thrilled with the track. What is it? Recursion, I believe it. Yeah, Recursion. It's kind of like a little, almost like interlude type track, and a lot of people were saying that they just didn't care for it because they said it seemed like it just didn't fit. There was no point in including it because it seemed like it was going to go to something else, and it didn't lead into anything, and it didn't flow into the next track, which was analogs in a cell. But I disagree with that. I think it works well. Next up, Hecate Enthroned Embrace of the Godless Aeon. I have not picked up anything from these guys in a long ass time. I've got their first couple. Really awesome symphonic black metal, but as they went along, I guess they started adding more and more death metal touches to their music. As I said, other than their first couple, I have not picked up anything else for whatever reason, so when I saw this in the store, I just had to pick this up. I've spun it a couple times. Pretty solid in my opinion. Okay, the next three are all from the same band, and this is a band that I have not liked them since their, I want to say, 5th album. I don't know. It just seemed like, I think what happened is a lot of people hated the way they started changing, and I started reading a lot of the negative stuff, and I was at the time letting it kind of influence my opinion on this, and you know, just being stupid. But here recently, I went back and I actually listened to this particular album, and what started is I heard the single from their latest release is coming up, and I actually enjoyed it, and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna go back and check out this album here because I've always loved the album cover, and I found myself enjoying it, so I finally picked it up. This is In Flames with Sound of a Playground Fading. Like I said, I have always enjoyed this album cover. I even have a t-shirt that has this on there. But yeah, I never thought I would buy a newer In Flames album, and here I have one. And in fact, because of that, I went out and I checked out their latest release, minus the one that's getting ready to be released here soon. That is Battles. Really enjoyed what I heard from this, and yeah, so you can say I've got to go back and pick up the rest of their stuff now. I've become a reborn In Flames fan, and the last one I ended up getting was Come Clarity, and yeah, I never in my lifetime thought I would be showing off newer In Flames, anything past Clayman in my collection, but hey, it's amazing how things change over the years. Another eBay find. This is the debut from The Charm, The Fury, A Shade of My Former Self. I had to go on eBay to find this. Got it for a pretty decent price from a Canadian seller. And did not realize until I was listening to their second album recently, and I decided to look them up, just kind of see what other albums they had, and did not realize they were split up. So, yeah. Figured I better get that before it becomes harder to get. Next up, got the new one from Defleshed and Gutted. This is, oh man, Hibernaculum of Decay. Amazing artwork. Killer death metal band from Texas. And cool little part is I have it signed by the drummer. I was hoping all of them would have signed it, but just didn't turn out that way. Because when I opened it, I expected the cover to be, you know, all signed, and I didn't see it, so I thought, oh man, they must have forgot to do it, because that's happened before. But I was going through the book and I saw that the drummer at least signed it, so hey, at least I can say I've got one of the members to sign it. Maybe down the line I might get lucky and get to see those guys live, and I can get the rest of them to sign it. Next up, Severe Torture, Feasting on Blood. This has been on my Amazon wish list for a while, and it had been marked down to like $4, and I'm like, yeah, picking that up. And the last two came from Transcending Records. Hadn't ordered from them in a long time, and this time around, I don't know, there's been some issues. They've been having a little issues, I guess, and I actually ordered more than these two here, but this is all that they had, and I ended up getting a refund for most of my order. But this is Corpse Fucking Art with Splatter Deluxe. This is the band that I've been wanting to pick up some of their stuff for a while now. I really need to get their newest one. Really awesome death metal. And lastly, another censored variant for a Cannibal Corpse album. This is Bloodthirst, I've actually always really liked that cover. Even though it's the censored cover, I still think it's a pretty cool cover. So, yep, had to get that, especially when it was as cheap as it was. So, yeah, that is going to do it. I know there's a couple things that I forgot to show, but I can save those for another video because I've still got some tapes and things like that coming in the mail. So, yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.